When Trump campaigned here in Luzerne County in 2016, his message about bringing back jobs struck a chord. The coal mines and garment factories were long gone, and his appeal to white working-class voters flipped many lifelong Democrats to his side.
I understand that, but again...
One of those was Ed Harry, who I met at this diner shortly after Trump was elected.
I didn't want another politician, because I think every trade agreement we had have done nothing except take jobs from this country and send them all over the world.
As a respected trade union leader,
Take care, Eddie.
who knew Joe Biden personally, his vote for Trump back then stunned the community. Returning to Luzerne County nearly 4 years later, little seemed to have changed. Not much sign of the promised well-paid manufacturing jobs. And for many, the threat of COVID was not the priority. I stayed in touch with Ed, and I wondered if he had the same enthusiasm for Trump. This time, instead of a diner, we met up in a gun shop.
Easy to work. Ammunition's inexpensive.
Ed has now spent over £1,500 on new guns here.
Why? Because things started to get crazy. Things started to get crazy with a political party.
Echoing Trump, he says radicals linked to the Democrat Party are behind the riots and unrest sweeping America. And it's one big reason, he says, that military-style guns like these are flying off the shelves in this part of Pennsylvania.
Don't forget, I was a Democrat for 52 years of my life. I know how it works. I've been in the demonstrations that were peaceful, been there, done that. You could take my life if I'm lying. All of those people, there's no spontaneity in any of the riots that go on.
As we talk, customers come in looking for guns and ammunition. Bob, the gun shop owner, shows me his bare shelves. Many around here are stockpiling. And Trump's law and order message seems to be winning him new support among Democrats here, even if the president is not personally liked.
They hated Trump. They still hate Trump. But they're going to vote for him.
Why?
Because their Democratic Party that we grew up being part of no longer exists. It's gone.
It's a sentiment echoed by local tow truck operator Bob Kudlabowski.
Let's get out of here before we get killed.
Another Democrat who turned to Trump.
We're going to go check this out. Reports of shots fired.
When I met Bob here in early 2017, he was introduced to me as a local law enforcement vigilante who'd welcomed Trump's strong backing for the police. When I caught up with him, he was now speaking in one voice with the president.
You just don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. And I think people are scared to death what could go wrong if the Democrats take control of the Senate and the White House. Well, you see what's going on in the Democrat-controlled cities. Riots, shootings, murders.
Well, people are allowed to protest, aren't they?
Oh, yes, but not when they're busting windows and burning buildings down and beating people and pulling them out of their cars and overturning police cars and breaking their windows out, assaulting police officers. How's that peaceful protesting?
The vast majority of the protest has been peaceful.
It's the message at the core of Trump's attack ads. A vote for Biden is a vote for Black Lives Matter protesters and Antifa activists who Trump claims are behind the violence. And back on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania, he rams this message home.
This election is about law and order. You look at Portland. We keep saying to the governor, look, Governor, Oregon, I said, Governor, let us go in. We'll solve the problem in 30 minutes. They don't want to do that.
Well, they started when all the protests started in all the different cities.
Lynette Villano is known locally as Trump's superfan. She took us to meet one of the county's police chiefs who believes many Democrats are backing the defund the police movement that's gained momentum following George Floyd's killing.
I feel like what they're doing is patting us on the back, say, hey, good job. When they walk away, they're going to this family saying, we're going to defund them. We're going to defund them. I don't play that game.
Because of these concerns, he's certain most police officers will vote for Trump.
Every officer I spoke to in this area are supporting Donald Trump.
How many is that? How many have you asked?
20 to 25 officers.
Every single one says they're going to support Donald Trump.
Yep.
This will be music to the president's ears, his core voters responding to his messaging. At the local Democrat campaign office, they believe Joe Biden's own message of unity is getting through. But one young man collecting yard signs admits they face a big challenge with Trump's propaganda onslaught.
I've seen more Trump signs and black the blue signs, so I'm not very sure how they're going to go this year. They just don't trust Joe Biden because of all the ads I've been seeing online and
the attack ads.
The attack ads, yes.
Democrat supporters Sandy and Mike believe they are seeing signs of a pushback.
Oh, and it's dark enough that it's lit up.
But how do they counter Trump's dog-eat-dog politics?
For me, it's getting this country back to a sense of decency and normalcy by electing Joe Biden.
Chaos is Donald Trump's friend. I'm not quite sure why people are conned by his actions into believing that he's making America safer. He isn't.
I keep it next to my bed.
Ed's neighbors don't see it that way.
All my handguns are by my bed.
Eric and Mike have genuine fears over their safety, and they embrace Trump, their strongman, as they fear unrest could soon be on their doorstep.
Because of the stuff that was going on all over the country. Now Philly started, Lancaster, which is an hour and a half from here, so it keeps getting closer.
Are you that worried about security?
For my family, yeah, I am. I'm worried about people coming in, rioting, people coming in, looting.
Ed has shown the latest addition to the family's 35-gun collection. I wondered if they get to use these guns against a threat that's perhaps more imagined than real.
If that comes on your body, you're dead.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they come here and try to burn my house down, I'm going to shoot the son of a bitches.
Back home, Ed gets out his own guns, now always close at hand. It seems Trump's messaging has worked.
4.5 years, it gets crazier. Drugs, but more so the riots now and a continuation of what they plan on doing. They're front and center in all the violence. Nobody else. Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Isn't it kind of dangerous what you're saying in terms of like
No,
being
it's
divisive?
The truth. No. I don't have any problem saying because I believe it.
In nearly 4 years I'd known Ed, he'd gone from trade union campaigner who took a chance on Trump to sounding like a die-hard loyalist who now fears his former party. And if Trump narrowly wins this key swing state again, it may well be the votes of these ex-Democrats that carry him over the line.